there's another big word, AI.
To be comfortable with using it.
It's really for the future generations.
Yes, sustainability is not something that you can do alone. Hello everyone, I'm Attorney Norman Roland E. Ocana III, Government Affairs Director and Territory Sustainability Leader for Schneider Electric Philippines, and you're tuned in to Power Podcast.
Welcome to Power Podcast. This is a channel where you can listen to in-depth discussions of issues relevant to the Philippines energy sector. Power Podcast is a production of Power Philippines, the only online publication in the country dedicated to covering energy development across the archipelago. We cover all news and issues that spark meaningful conversations among members of our growing online community. We share the belief that sustaining the growth of the energy sector is vital to the growth of the country itself. Good day. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Power Podcast. Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or listening to us via Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts, we hope you will enjoy listening in. I'm your host, Mai Tanglao. Today's guest is Attorney Norman Roland E. Ocana III, Director for Government Affairs and Territory Sustainability Leader at Schneider Electric Philippines, a company at the forefront of sustainable energy solutions worldwide. Named the world's most sustainable corporation for 2025 by Time Magazine and Statista, Schneider Electric isn't just in the business of power, it's in the business of transformation. From deploying energy-efficient systems in buildings and factories to enabling microgrids in underserved communities and training young Filipinos for green economy jobs, Schneider's footprint goes far beyond technology. In this episode, we talk about what it takes to power a sustainable future, from decarbonization and digitalization to multi-sectoral collaboration. Attorney Ocana shares how Schneider is helping businesses cut emissions, how ESG is embedded in everything they do, and why real impact comes when government, industry, and communities work together. So JJ, what drew you to the legal profession? Was energy policy always part of the plan, or did that come later?
The legal profession was always the plan. My grandfather was a lawyer, but energy policy followed soon after I joined the legal profession, when I saw that there was a lot of opportunities for development and operations in the energy space.
Before going to Schneider Electric, saan po kayo?
I was with a Genco. Of course, I started with a law firm. I was with the Genco, and I did e-commerce for a while.
So before, sir, nag-Lazada kayo? Tama?
Yes, that is correct. That was where I had a better understanding of technology, and that's why when the Schneider Electric opportunity came, I found that it was the perfect spot to marry tech, energy, and policy at the same time.
So sir, sorry. So fresh out of law school, law firm
Yes.
kayo. Anong ginawa niyo dun sa law?
Litigation.
Oh.
Litigation.
Okay. And then, from litigation, paano kayo?
I did government affairs in the Genco and conglomerate, and then I did that for 5 years before I did further government affairs in e-commerce, and then transferred to Schneider Electric.
What led you to Schneider Electric? How did your background in law and public policy transition into a role that now shapes sustainability at the corporate level?
So, sometime in 2023, I believe, Schneider Electric was looking for a government affairs person. And for some reason, they were able to find me in LinkedIn. They reached out, and we went through the process. To see the job fit, to see if I aligned with the vision of the company in terms of what we wanted to do here in the Philippines, what we wanted to accomplish. I guess they also wanted to gauge if I was comfortable with kind of a shift from tech and Genco and policy to electrical equipment, energy efficient solutions, and industrial automation. And when they also started discussing what the role was about and what the company was about, what the company wanted to do, then I became interested. And at first, I was hired strictly to do government affairs, but later on, the organization understood that government affairs is really about finding where the company can support government in its policies, where we can move in lockstep with policymakers and government to better the nation. And that's how the sustainability portfolio ended up under my belt as well.
So what made you decide pala, sir, to join Schneider Electric?
What made me jump to Schneider Electric was the fact that they were very high in sustainability already at that time. 2 years ago, you and even up to now, sustainability is quite a buzzword. But joining this role made me understand the operational aspect of sustainability, what it truly means in relation to a big company, in relation to a community, in relation to our customers and our vendors. And it's that dynamism that I really appreciate about Schneider.
Mhm. Actually, yes, sustainability is a parang big word. And I don't think a lot of people understand it or very limited lang. Kasi ako nga, I started with understanding it, or ang notion ko lang sa kanya is all about giving back to the environment. Ganun, protecting the environment. But it's really all-encompassing siya,
Yes.
di ba? Pati yung labor laws, di
Yes,
ba?
exactly. Governance.
Yes, good governance, yung social impact
Yes.
niya, 'di ba? So it's really very big. Kanina JJ, I
Yeah.
was telling you na yung knowledge ko about Schneider Electric is very limited. So baka you want to expound also what Schneider Electric, what it does for customers.
Okay, so Schneider Electric is a multinational company. We're present in over 100 countries all over the world, and we are a leader in energy efficiency and digital automation solutions. So we work in primarily four segments: power and utilities, buildings, buildings, data centers. So what we do is we provide energy efficient solutions from the equipment to the software equipment connects to the cloud that kind of stores and distills this information so that it is in easily understandable parts or components for the end user. So we provide that. We can provide that end to end with the ultimate goal of making our clients' operations more sustainable, more energy efficient, and more profitable.
You mentioned energy efficiency. In previous forums na dinig ko na siya, it is the first fuel.
Yes, that is that's an oft repeated phrase because we do share that belief. The fact of the matter is it does take a while for power plants to be built, and the energy that we save, that's energy that can be used for other purposes, for other equally important purposes that society already may need in the present.
Mm-mm. So, sir, baka pwede nyo kami bigyan na example on how you make buildings energy efficient.
Okay. So, for example, maybe we can take this studio. You have about four rooms, for example, here, and it is quite cold. It is we were talking about that earlier. So, as if Schneider Electric Solutions can help identify which rooms in this floor is occupied, and you know turn off the lights in others that are not. So very basic, but if you take a look at how much savings you can have just by that practice, you'd be surprised. Also, the temperature. Ideally, I don't know about here in the Philippines, but ideally, they say that the optimal temperature would be about 24, 25 degrees. That can, of course, the comfort level would vary on how strong the sun is on that day and how many people there are in the room. So the solution can also fix it at 24 so that nobody can can fiddle around with the controls, or make it adjust accordingly based on the time of the day and the number of people in the room. So energy efficient siya that way. Smart, and uses real-time data.
So you do that with buildings. How households ba meron din kayo?
We do have that kind of solution. It's called Wiser. So yes, we do it for buildings. We do it for households as well. And there are also industrial application in terms of manufacturing and even data centers.
Okay. Maganda yun. Kasi pag nakakatipid ka nga sa kuryente, like what you mentioned, you can allot that savings to other things,
Yes,
diba?
yes.
If you'd like to make additional investments, diba? Or training people, diba? You can put that money aside and put it to better use. So you're also involved in microgrids and renewable energy deployment, especially in underserved areas. So could you share more about those standout projects?
Okay, so for microgrids and underserved areas, that's an area of the business that we would want to develop further here in the Philippines. Access to Energy is the program that has been around in Schneider Electric since 2009. Access to Energy has actually been implemented in Africa, India, and other places in the world. It has not reached, unfortunately, Philippine shores yet. That is something we want to change this 2025. So the intent of that is to help align with the government, of course, because total electrification has been a priority of government for quite some time now. So what we want to do is to identify which areas work with the ecosystem that is already present there. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to provide technical expertise, solutions, solar solutions that would be fit to the need of the communities, whether this be solar drives for agriculture, or last mile school electrification, or providing, as you mentioned, microgrid solutions for the community around the schools. So what would fit? We have solutions, we have different solutions. What would fit would depend on the community need. And I think that's where Schneider Electric can play a good role. We can help design this. We can tap our global expertise to identify what can work and how to keep this continuing and running for a significant number of years.
So you mentioned, diba, yung microgrid projects yun sa Africa
And India,
in
yes.
India. Sa tingin nyo how that would apply here in the Philippines? Yung anong best practice to?
Okay.
Or
So we have a working model in India. It's actually an agriculture village. So aside from the agriculture that you power, once you give the community the means of working, the means to do their work through renewable energy, then they're able to focus on healthcare. They're able to focus on sending their children to schools. Their children can go home and be able to study even if the sun is down. So that's what we do. That's what we would want to introduce also here in the Philippines, is if given the chance and with the right partners.
Okay, so beyond technology, Schneider is investing in people, particularly young Filipinos. Why is skills development part of your sustainability strategy?
Aside from it being a part of our sustainability strategy, this is also actually the aspect of the job that really gives meaningful purpose to the government affairs and sustainability role. Sustainability for us is decarbonization. Yes, it's about meeting decarbonization goals. It's about energy efficiency. It's about good governance, being able to comply with the laws. But we also recognize that particularly in developing nations like the Philippines, that the company can offer so much to the communities. And the fact of the matter is, aligned with the government goal to transition to a significant share of renewable energy over the next 5 to 20 years, the skills of the Filipino also need to be upgraded so that we can participate in that energy transition economy. So that's why we are focused on upskilling the next generation as well. So youth education and entrepreneurship is one of the pillars of the Schneider Electric Foundation. Schneider Electric Foundation is a foundation under the aegis of Fondation de France. So we are a French company. Schneider Electric Foundation is based in France. So it has several pillars, one of which, and I believe the strongest of which, is youth education and entrepreneurship. The goal of that pillar is really to upskill youth in technical skills. So electrician, how to install a solar panel in your home, how to maintain it, how to install electric vehicle chargers in maybe in a mall or also in residential purposes, how to make your operations cyber secure if a person is working in a manufacturing industry. So all of these, given the mega trends, digitization, AI, we see as being critical skills for the foreseeable future. So we, Schneider Electric, would want to, recognizing this and having expertise based all throughout the world, we would want to play a part in empowering the Filipino for this as well.
How are you rolling out that program?
We partner with schools, technical schools. We have partnerships with the Gokongwei Brothers Foundation, Sisters of Mary, Philippine Science even have gone as far as Marawi to equip technical vocation institutes there with basic electrical installation equipment that they can train on, and they can further train other people later on as the kids there grow up, so that they can help in the development of the area, because sooner or later there will be construction when the economy is always growing, not as fast as we want, but it is growing. And when it grows, there will be construction. And when there is construction, there will be need for technical skills. And the government's actually already recognized that, which is why they're already starting to include technical skills in the DepEd secondary curriculum. We would want to be part of that transition, and we have the equipment, the technology, the know-how to engage in that kind of conversation and to participate in multi-stakeholder activities moving towards that direction.
How many students have you trained?
Our goal in 2026, I believe, is about 11,000. But
Wow, that's a big
it's a
number.
drop in the bucket. We have bolder ambitions. And it's really up to us in Schneider Electric Philippines to help convince the foundation that Philippines is a good area to focus on in terms of upskilling the youth.
Yes, and there's a multiplier factor to
There
that.
is.
Kanina nga nabanggit mo, di ba? Yung tinuruan mo, tuturuan niya yung iba. Tapos, tuloy-tuloy lang yon, di ba? For listeners who hear the term a lot, what exactly is decarbonization and why is it very crucial?
Okay, so decarbonization, by its term, is about reducing the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The global warming and climate change is driven by the increase in greenhouse gas emissions. Of course, there are several greenhouse gas emissions, but the biggest chunk and therefore the biggest target for reduction is carbon emissions. And these are emitted daily in the different industries, in our different activities that we engage in. So it's important because if you reduce carbon, then we're able to reduce the effect of climate change, or at least slow it down, so that the future generation would still have something for themselves, and the generation after that.
So that's where an energy efficiency
Yes.
plays a key role.
Exactly.
Kasi nga naman, pag if you're saving energy, 'di ba? There's less carbon emissions, and then syempre mas magiging maganda yung environment natin, mas sustainable yung maiiwan natin sa ating yung mga future generation. Actually, di ba yung sustainability, it's not really lang para sa atin eh. It's really for the future generations
Yes.
that we pass on. How do you see the Philippines progressing in terms of reducing emissions, especially given our energy mix and development priorities? Kasi up until now, coal is still the biggest.
Yes.
How do you see us?
The Philippines actually has very aggressive targets and is quite advanced in terms of where we want our energy mix to be in 2030 and in 2050. By 2050, we want to be 50% powered by renewable energy, and we believe that this is a step in the right direction in terms of decarbonization. Energy, the source of energy, plays a big factor. So if we move away from fossil fuels and into the renewables, then that alone results into a significant delta in decarbonization.
What's the biggest misconception about decarbonization that you often have to correct in conversations with stakeholders?
Stakeholders would often say that decarbonization is expensive, and that it is a slow burn. Okay, it takes a long time to implement. They are correct that it takes a while to implement, and negates the argument that it is expensive, because if you are able to establish a good plan for decarbonization, one that is science-based, one that you work with companies such as ourselves, who can help you and provide end-to-end solutions for decarbonization, then you can plan it out based on how much you intend to spend for the year, what are your targets by this year, and how much savings you would work for you. So you can stretch it out. It doesn't have to be a one-time thing. For us in Schneider Electric Philippines, the biggest decarbonization project we have is the factory, the manufacturing facility here. We have a huge manufacturing facility here in the Philippines. So it's a 5-year project. It's not something that we recognize. It's not something that you can do overnight. And that you really have to involve all the stakeholders, all the communities, so that you can reach those decarbonization goals.
So, sorry, pwede pa expound ako nun sinasabi niyong factory na.
Okay. So we've been here for 30 years. This is our 30th year, this
Oy,
2025.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So we have three main operations here. For logistics, the global supply chain, our competency center or global hub, as well as the commercial operations. If you take a look at the mix, we would automatically see that the biggest contributor to carbon for Schneider here in the Philippines is the manufacturing operations or the supply chain. So we have implemented several solutions over the past years for the manufacturing facility that allows us to first move from traditional fossil fuels to renewable. And second, to monitor the operations and the electric consumption of the facility. So we've done this in phases. We've retrofitted where we can. We've installed new chillers. We've changed the air conditioning. Again, it wasn't something that happened overnight. And all of these steps, little by little over the past 5 years, all lead to our goal, which is really a reduction in carbon. Right now, I believe we're at almost 50% reduced from 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
In short, you walk the talk.
We do, and thankfully, the company also encourages and actually has sustainability in its DNA. And when I say that, it's always about how we can be more sustainable in our operations, because we believe that sustainability also, aside from profit to the company, it's also a value adding for the community.
Sir, ma-digress, if I may digress, so ibig sabihin mo, sir, kunyari may mga LEED buildings, yung mga systems yung naka-install?
We have systems, yes, for if you want a building to be LEED certified, there are some parameters that they have to check, and having the type of systems that Schneider Electric has would put you along those in that journey to be LEED certified.
Schneider Electric is often praised for driving multi-sectoral collaboration. What does that actually look like on the ground?
We recognize first that sustainability is not something that you can do alone. Right? We became the world's most sustainable company per Times and Statista precisely because we just don't do it alone. We also involve our other stakeholders, our customers, including our vendors. So taking it to the Philippines, how a multi-sectoral collaboration would look like would the best case would probably be the energy efficiency law, for example. The energy efficiency law would provide the framework for what the government wants both the public sector and the private sector to achieve. But in order to achieve this, then you'll need implementing rules and regulations. You'll need the department circulars, department orders that would move this along that way also, because then you start talking about the implementation, and when you talk about implementation, you also involve not just those who will be using it or those who are directly affected by the law, but also what the technology is presently, what is available, so that goals can be met. And technology is always constantly evolving. And that's where we can work with government. You have the banks who can provide the financing for energy efficient activities. You have the system integrators who would do the actual installation in facilities. You would have the vendors such as Schneider for the equipment and the software that will be needed for this. All, again, working in lockstep with what government policy dictates, because it's government policy that will really move the needle in this space, in any other space actually.
So, siguro sir, apart from the existing laws and policies, what other, how is the government supporting you in this endeavor?
Okay. I believe the current framework, and I've said this repeatedly, is already favorable for the kind of technology that we would want to bring into the Philippines and that we are already offering our customers. The question now goes into giving it more teeth and how to actually make it make sense for the end users, because again, the impression is always that these solutions cost. Yes, these solutions cost, but if you really take a look at it from what incentives are out there, as well as the return on investment after X number of years, I believe that the clients, the customers, would find that it is actually a win-win situation for them, even at the present.
Saka di ba sir, merong di ba JJ, merong sa energy efficiency law, pati na rin ng mga LGUs, kailangan mag-comply sila that they have to parang submit yung plan nila, di ba? Even yung mga, kung ano yung ginagamit nilang lighting, yung aircon, di ba? Dapat
So that's an example of giving life to the law. So dati, under the Energy Efficiency Act, nagpasa pa si Department of Energy ng one more, which is the government, the GEMP, government, I forget what it means exactly right now, but it's a GEMP. It's a energy efficiency plan for government. And yes, LGUs, government agencies have to submit what they're doing to reduce energy consumption in their buildings. And it starts there. As with everything here in the Philippines, if the government leads the way, the private sector is not too far behind. We're very happy with that policy, and the plans that have to be submitted, these do not have to be very complicated plans yet. You mentioned it, changing the lighting, maybe installing solar, and along every step of the way, Schneider Electric is more than willing to provide what we know, to share what we know to LGUs, to government agencies, especially to the DOE, on how these things have been implemented abroad. Of course, we're not saying that this is the only way, but we have we are fortunate enough to be present in several countries, and we've seen how it has evolved. Thailand, Vietnam, all of these, and these are experiences that we willingly share with government.
In terms of private sector, sir, how's the uptake of on energy efficiency?
Very good. Especially the conglomerates, they are already recognizing that energy efficiency is a very good opportunity to save, so that they have more to invest in more in their businesses in the future.
But those are the bigger companies. Paano yung mga SMEs?
We believe that there are also opportunities there. Actually, that was something that also I spent a lot of time thinking about, because again, from a perspective of development does not only happen here. Development would definitely have to involve the 99% of the other businesses out there, which is the MSMEs.
Yes.
So it's really about finding what is material to them. That's another term I came across in my role in Schneider Electric. So each company, small, medium, large, there would be a certain aspects of their operations that would be material, or that would make most impact in terms of sustainability, whether it's on the governance aspect, providing just wages, complying with the employment laws, or maybe the plastics packaging, something that the EPR law of the Philippines is already helping push. All of these represent opportunities. Can Schneider help these MSMEs? Again, it depends on what is material to them. Is it people? Yes, we work with people. We train, we upskill. Yes, you're definitely going to need technicians. You're definitely going to need safe electrical components and final distribution for your business, so that your facility is protected. So these are where Schneider can help beyond the solutions that we offer for the big segments.
How do you embed ESG into everyday business decisions, not just as compliance, but as a driver of long-term value?
We're quite fortunate in that regard. I think in my role, I can say that I am quite fortunate that these decisions are made up top, all the way in Europe, where our executives are based, and cascaded all the way to the last employee. So we're required to undergo sustainability training, every single one of us, so that we understand how we can contribute in our individual capacity. We are also made to understand how our role plays in terms of the broader sustainability targets of Schneider Electric. So instead of working from, for Philippines, for example, instead of working from ground zero up, we're very fortunate to be in a position that the people up there are the ones who set the plans, set the targets, and then ask the local entities to align with these targets based on the current capacities.
The company was named the world's most sustainable corporation this year.
Yes.
Hindi lang din sa corporate nights, but also Time Magazine and Statista. What does the recognition mean for your work here in the Philippines?
First, it really is a great honor to be recognized for the second year in a row by Times
Second
and
year na
Statista.
pala.
Yes, second year in the row. So this means that we are here, we walk the talk, we bring everyone along. It's not just the company we would never have won this if it was through the decarbonization efforts and targets of Schneider Electric alone. I feel that our positioning as a solutions provider for our customers, as well as the work that we do for the community, with the community through the NGO Foundation network, also contributes to this overall recognition, giving us this overall recognition. And for here in the Philippines, it means that we're a very reliable partner. And that is, I think, one of the key things that we want our customers, our stakeholders to recognize, that we're here for the long run. It's not we're not just a vendor that will work with you today and will disappear tomorrow. We want to be invested in you. We want to understand your problems. We want to work with you so that your solutions, our solutions, would be beneficial for you, would translate into profit, and of course redound to the communities where we all operate as well.
Mm-hmm. Sir, we mentioned a lot of big words today. We have sustainability, we have decarbonization, we have ESG. There's another big word, AI, that I want to ask you about. AI is everywhere.
It is everywhere, yes.
So how are you using AI to your advantage?
Okay. For AI, first, from an employee standpoint, we are all required to use AI. It has been that way for the past 2 years. We are highly encouraged to use it and to be comfortable with using it. But how this translates for Schneider Electric is use of AI represents also an increase in the energy requirement. So I think it's about 10 times.
Yes.
10 times AI prompt would use 10 times the amount of energy as opposed to a simple Google search. While this does represent a significant increase, it is, in the grand scheme of things, still a small portion of the overall energy consumption of a country. So what we want to do as Schneider Electric is to ensure that this energy is used efficiently, that the data centers that power artificial intelligence operate optimally and efficiently, are cooled with as little amount of power as possible, so that AI can continue to grow without straining the resources of the earth.
So as someone at the intersection of law, energy, and sustainability, what's your message to young Filipinos who want to be part of the clean energy transition?
In Schneider Electric, we have several values that we highlight. For folks who would want, especially the young people who would want to be part of the energy transition, my suggestion, my advice would be stay curious. The technology space is always evolving. What you know now, there's another solution that's going to come out. Maybe in a week, maybe in a month. You never know. But once it's there, then it's something that you have to be familiar and be comfortable with. Second, and this is also in relation to our values, is to move with purpose. Okay, never forget your North Star, why you're doing what you're doing, because then work doesn't feel like work all the time. I mean, work is there. We should not live to work. It should actually be the other one. Nor should we work to live, right? It should be a balance, and I think when you are tired, when you're on your 5th cup of coffee for that day, it's your purpose really that drives you and pushes you to continue doing what you're doing.
That wraps up our deep dive with Attorney Norman Ocana, giving us a closer look at how Schneider Electric is building systems, skills, and strategies for a net zero future in the Philippines. From smarter energy use in cities to clean power access in far-flung barangays, Schneider is proving that sustainability is not just about saving the planet, it's about creating value for people and communities today. At the heart of every energy transition is one simple truth. Real change happens when power meets purpose. Whether you're a policymaker, a professional, or a student just starting out, remember, sustainability isn't someone else's job. It's all of ours. Keep asking questions, keep building solutions, and keep powering a future we all want to live in. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with a colleague or a friend, and follow Power Philippines on Facebook and LinkedIn for more energy stories that matter. For your comments and suggestions, shoot us a message on Power Philippines Facebook Messenger account or email us at news.powerph@gmail.com. If you want to view this podcast again, check out our YouTube channel or Power Philippines News. Until our next episode, I'm Mai Tanglao.